Hello everyone, this is the first lesson recording for IM2, November 30th, 2020. Welcome back from your Thanksgiving break. I hope you had a thankful, restful, and peaceful, healthy, safe Thanksgiving break. We are going to get back to work and we're going to start by trying on a new technology. It's called Whiteboard.fi and it gives me opportunity to be able to see your thinking process in real time as well as to keep you on your toes so that you are continuously thinking and paying attention throughout the class. So what you can do if you like is to share your most popular dish on your Thanksgiving dinner table with the class through this. So make sure you can play around with this new app for a little bit until we get started. But we also started with warm-up problem. This is actually from the unit test problem that I wanted to go over. So please pause the video and see if you can solve this problem. Some announcements. Now till the end of the semester, we only have 5 classes remaining. So we are going to start on Unit 6. It's called Polynomials, but this unit will continue next semester. But polynomials and solving quadratic equation is probably the most important content material that we would like you to master in IM2. So it is very, very important that you do pay attention now so that it's going to be easy for you next semester. If you really do not want to get behind on this unit because it's going to make your life a lot more tough next semester if that happens. There will only be one quiz for the new material that is going to be covered from now till the final. And also you will have the semester final as well. And the semester final will be similar in format and to, and weighing as well to the unit test. And right now, we think it's going to be on December 16th, period 1 and 2 on Wednesday, but this is subject to change. Opportunity to improve your grade. Unit 1 and 2, Unit 3A, B, and Unit 5 test corrections. These are all the unit tests. You've had 3 unit tests so far. So I am going to accept test corrections. It's going to be available to all where you can earn back up to 20% of missed points. The latest turn-in date is Monday, December 14th, end of day. That means I am not going to be accepting any later than that. And please see test correction template. This is going to be in Canvas for you to follow directions. This really is not just about improving your grade, but it's an improvement opportunity to help you learn the material so that you can do better on future assessment. Remember, the finals are right around the corner, and we are going to be testing you on the same material that we tested you on the previous unit test. This is the result from the unit test that you just took, and the average for period 1 was 74%. And 75% for period 2. Now, I want to cover something that some of you did not quite get in the unit test. So, angle of elevation, angle of depression. This was covered in Desmos, one of the Desmos questions. But for those of you who did not get through it, I'm going to cover it here again. So, what is angle of elevation? What is angle of depression? Here is my observer, and here he's looking up at an airplane, and here he's looking down at a dog. So angle of elevation and angle of depression really depends on whether you're looking up or you're looking down at an object. So to talk about that, we need to first define the line of sight. Line of sight is the direct line joining the blue two objects. So here, the line of sight to the airplane is the blue line. The line of sight to the dog is the red line. And the angle of elevation or depression is the angle formed between the line of the sight and the horizontal or the horizon. Okay, so if you have a horizontal line And what is the angle that is formed between the line of sight and the horizontal? That's going to be the angle of elevation and angle of depression. When the line of sight is above the horizontal, then it's going to be called angle of elevation. So in the airplane, the angle of elevation, it's angle of elevation because we are looking up. So while as when we're looking down, when the line of sight is below the horizontal, it's going to be angle of depression. So knowing that, I hope you had a chance to look at this problem and we're going to solve this together. So a person in a window A is looking down at the base of the letter with an angle of depression of 34 degrees. So here's my person here. Okay, and he's looking down with the angle of depression being 34 degrees. So that means this is my horizontal. This is 34 degrees here. Okay. What other information are we given? The window is 39 feet high. Okay, so we are given that this is 39 feet. And what are we trying to find? How long is the ladder? So we're trying to find this length. Okay, so we're trying to find this length. Now, we have this triangle, right triangle here, but we don't know any of the angles within the triangle. However, we do know that angle of depression, which is 34 degrees. So we have two ways of figuring out either this angle or this angle. Okay, we can figure out this angle because the horizontal is here and this is the ground horizontal. That means horizontals are always parallel. That means by this is parallel to this line. So that means by alternate interior angle, remember my z angle, this angle has to be 34 degrees as well. Okay, or another way of looking at it is if I know that this is 90 degrees because the horizontal and the vertical lines are always going to make 90 degrees. And I know that this horizontal and vertical lines is going to make 90 degrees. So this angle is going to be 90 minus 34. So that's going to be 56 degrees. So this is going to be 56 degrees. Either would work. Let's just say that we just figured out we use the first measurement. Okay, so then we have 34 degrees here. We are looking for the hypotenuse and we know the opposite side, so we are going to call our sine function. Sine of 34 degrees is going to be opposite, which is 39, divided by x, which is hypotenuse. Okay, so then from here I am going to multiply both sides by x, and that cancels out. And I know that x is being multiplied by sine of 34, so I don't want that. So I am going to divide both sides by sine of 34 degrees. So this cancels out and you are left with x is equal to 39 divided by sine of 34 degrees. And if I use the calculator, I get 69.743 dot dot dot. Okay, now it says to round your answer to one decimal. One decimal means one decimal place. So this is one decimal, two decimal, three decimal. So that means we want to cut it off right here. But before we cut it off, we need to consider the digit that comes after where we are cutting off. And the number is 4, which is 4 or less. Remember, 4 or less means we leave this as it is. We need to round down. We do not round up. So that means x is going to be 69.7 feet. Okay, so the correct answer for this problem is 69.7 feet. However, since there was confusion about angle of depression and angle of elevation, I did accept both the answer as being correct. So if some of you actually took this angle as 34 degrees, If you took this and figure out what the letter was, it will be different length. But I did take that as correct as well, just because there was some confusion as to the answer key and so on and so forth. But in the future, I will not be taking them because it is a very specific answer. Okay, another problem from the test. Similarly, I am not going to go through the answer itself, but we're just going to quickly tackle the question. An observer is in the lighthouse looking down at the boat with an angle of depression of 76 degrees. That means an observer is here and looking down. Okay, so the angle of depression, remember, it is the angle that is made to the horizontal to the line of sight. So that means this is 76 degrees. That also means I know that this is 76 degrees because horizontals are always parallel to each other. And the boat is 78 meters from the base of the lighthouse. So the boat is 78 meters. Okay, and we're looking for the height. So this is the height. So to do this, we are going to be calling what? This is a reference angle. This is the opposite. This is hypotenuse. So this is going to be tangent of 76 degrees is going to be equal to x over 78. And you're going to solve for x. And another problem from the test is this problem where Makita is on the surfboard. There's Makita. And looking at George with an angle of elevation of 49 degrees. Okay, so this time she's looking up. So this is 49 degrees. And she is 51 feet from the cliff. And how tall is the cliff? And that's what we're trying to figure out. So again, we're going to be using tangent of 49 degrees is going to be equal to opposite is the x, adjacent is 51, and you're going to solve to find the answer. Okay, so let's get into um, what we are covering today. So what are we doing? We are going to be covering polynomial definitions as we start the new unit, and we're going to do selected cases of polynomial operations. Let's start with some vocabulary. What is the difference between expression versus equation? An expression is a combination of numbers, variables, and or operations. So 27.4 plus 3, that's an expression. You could have a variable like x here, 2x plus 4. So here you have just numbers with some operation. Here you have some numbers and variable and operations. And you can have even more complicated operations here, like square root. Square root is an operation, and we have some variable, that's the red letters, and some numbers, that's going to be 3 and 4 here. Okay, in contrast, equation, it describes an equality. Okay, so something that is equal or sameness, equal in value relationship between two expressions. So for example, you can have 27 plus 4, 27.4 plus 3. What is that value equal to? It's equal to 30.4. What you're saying is what is on the left-hand side is equal in value to what is on the right-hand side. And that's what the equal sign is telling us. What about this? 2x plus 4 can be equal to some number this time. Okay, so what you're saying is 2x plus 4 is equal in value to 12. Okay, and here, if you remember, you know how to solve this. You subtract 4 from both sides, and that will get 2x is equal to 8. 2x is equal to 8, divide both sides by 2, so you get x is equal to 4. So here is what I sometimes see from students. Okay, so they do this, and maybe some part of the work is that you get the x to be 4, then some students just write equals to 4. Okay, this is a no-no, okay? Because what you're really communicating is 12 is equal to 4. 12 is never equal to 4. So you never ever want to do that. So please, please, please do not do that. Okay? Now,